Medical disclaimer. The information provided in this episode of Grown Ass Women Talking is for educational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment. Enjoy the episode.
First and foremost, you need to find a doctor that you align with. And what do I mean? You're not going to align with everybody. I've had patients that we didn't connect and we understood it and we both mutually agreed. Let me take you through a visit with Dr. Jackie. Hi, I'm Dr. Jackie. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey everybody, I'm your girl Loni Love, Emmy-winning talk show host, comedian, and actress.
And I'm Erica Montolfo, writer, showrunner, and most importantly, Loni's super fun sidekick.
That's right, Erica. And thank you all for joining us for another episode. For our grown-ass topic today, we'll be talking with Dr. Jackie Waters from Married to Medicine. And we're going to be talking to her about finding the right OBGYN. Woo! But before we get into that, let's take a moment to thank all of you, our incredible listeners, for your love and your support.
Oh. Yes, thanks, guys. I mean, we've been loving your emails and voice notes that you've been sending. Keep it coming. You got something to say? Send us your voice notes at GAWTPOD@gmail.com or record a voice message on our website, GAWTPOD.com.
Now, if you're listening to us on your phone, follow us on Instagram. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now.
And finally, guys, we have a special request for all our listeners. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're almost there. So help us out by subscribing to our channel and sharing our videos with your friends.
Now that we've done all of that, the housekeeping, let's catch up with Erica. What's on your mind?
I need to find out the scoop on James's birthday. How was it?
Oh my goodness. James hit the big 6-0 and this week, and he just had a great time. We always go to this restaurant. His favorite restaurant is Craig's in Hollywood, California. And, he likes going there because we'll always see somebody. And guess who we saw?
Who'd you see?
The second gentleman of the United States of America, Doug Emhoff.
You saw Doug?
Yes, he was there with a group of guys. I got to say hi. I didn't get my famous selfie, but I did
talk Secret
to
Service
him.
Like coming in between you.
Oh, Secret Service was everywhere, honey. But he was walking past me, so I was able to, just kind of tap him. And I said, you know what? Thank you for your continued support to our girl, and I appreciate everything you did during the election. And he was just like, you are so welcome, and thank you for everything, because I guess he knew who I was. So, and also there were some other people that were there. Kid and Play was there, and it's funny because there were a bunch of paparazzi.
Kid or Play? Kid or Play?
It was Kid.
Okay,
Kid.
I'm just saying, not Kid and
not
Play.
Play. Well, I always call them Kid and Play. If I see either one of them, I'm like, Kid and Play. But it was a great dinner, and what I did was, because it was his 60th, I got a lot of his friends to send in videos, and James is so sentimental, and I ended up, making a video of all his friends, telling him happy birthday, his mom, his sister. He was crying, all of them, Caesar salad and stuff, but he really enjoyed it. So we had a really good birthday. So
well, I
really
told
good.
you guys, because that's right near my house. I was about to slide into your booth and crash your date.
We wasn't at a booth. We was at a table. See, you wouldn't have fit.
Good thing I didn't come then. I want you to have your romantic date. I didn't want to be in, a third wheel like I normally am with you and James.
Oh, you could have came. It didn't matter.
Well, I was supposed to have my own date, but I ended up canceling.
Why?
Listen, can I tell you some more grown-ass woman stuff? Which I think I've shared with you before. Do you think, I'm going to ask you this about being a grown-ass woman. Do you get to the point now where you can't do more than one thing a day? Like, you had James's birthday. Like, did you do other stuff that day? Like, I can only do one thing a day. And on like on Sunday, for example, I have my Huxtable brunch, right?
Right.
So then I had Huxtable brunch, but then I had to go to this thing with my girlfriend. It's like some kind of thing called a music bath, or it's like a sound bath where people get together and sing. So that was a whole thing. Had to go to that. And then I had dinner plans. So I had 3 things in one day. And I realized
you're busy.
That's too much. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
So
yesterday I had lunch with somebody, and then I was supposed to have a date last night. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't do two things in one day. So I had to cancel the date because I had lunch. You can't have lunch and a date the same day when you're a grown-ass woman. That's me. I'm tired, Loni.
You need to take some vitamins and get yourself together so you can get that date, okay?
Listen,
so I at least have a fourth person we can double date.
All right, listen, don't hold your breath on that one. That's going to be me, you, and James for many years.
Forever and ever.
Ever.
All right, Erica, enough talk about you. Let's move on to our new segment, the Grown-Ass Woman of the Week. It's our way of spotlighting women making a difference, whether it's someone in your community or a friend or yourself. Because, sometimes you got to give it up for yourselves.
So this week, obviously, I'm just talking about being by myself. I'm not going to be +1 with you and James. I'm alone.
Thank you.
Over here. Hello.
Well, our highlight in Grown-Ass Woman this week is Martha Stewart.
Yes, Martha. Woo!
I picked her because I felt like she has this wonderful documentary that you told us about last week.
Did you watch it?
I watched it, girl.
I told you.
It was juicy.
Yes,
it was juicy.
Just
but also, I think people watch the documentary about Martha Stewart and how she came into being herself as a grown-ass woman. Currently, she's 83 years old. She's single.
She looks great.
She's still making a lot of money. And this is a woman that has been to prison for insider trading. Which
was
got
BS,
married.
by the way. I mean, that was a racket. She didn't deserve to go to jail, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, she handled it like a boss. I remember when she went to jail and she said, yes, I just want to go ahead and go in the fall so I could be out by the spring when the flowers bloom. That's Martha Stewart.
100%. That's
her. I mean, basically, she's just this great.
I need to be out by the time my petunias are blooming. That's Martha.
And you consider her original influencer.
100%. Absolutely. She started the whole thing.
I mean, from the start of it, she's a mother. She was a wife. And if you watch the documentary, we don't want to give too much away. She tells you how she handles the infidelity of her marriage and what was going on while she was just blowing up. The thing that I do like about her, and I was reading a couple of articles about her, she made the common woman feel like you could live a certain type of life. Your dream house might not be perfect upon its first glance, but you can make it into a better way. And that's why a lot of women, I believe, attached on to her, because she was able to take simple little things like gardening, and no matter how small of a space that you had, she taught you how to make it beautiful. She taught you how to do DIY things. She took inspiration from travel. She always, kept notes. She stayed true to her own style. She started out as a model, and she was able to use her beauty to influence so many, many, many people. So I just think that she's this ultimate woman. And then after all of that, the TV shows, the magazines, she gets with Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
And they have a fabulous, and I was actually on the show. It was a cooking competition between her and Snoop. And on that particular show, it was myself and the Jonas Brothers, all three of them. And they were, one was on Team Martha, the other one was on Team Snoop, but I was a judge. I got to eat the food. That was the best job I ever had, because I was like, I get to eat the food?
I love how you get to be in the best places all the time. How do you get all the good invitations?
I loved it. So, I mean, and her and Snoop are now making all kinds of commercials and branding opportunities. So it just goes to show you, you're never too old, you're never too late. It's just tapping into what you truly are and what you truly like. And I think that's why she's been so successful. So definitely.
I think this is a perfect choice. And I think Martha, is the epitome of perseverance, right? I mean, like you said, she's been up and down and all around, and she still rises, right? Still she rises. And now she's living her best life with Snoop making brownies in the kitchen. And you know what kind of brownies. I love it too.
Well, that was our grown-ass woman of the week, Martha Stewart.
Martha. Woo! Yes, Martha. Now, if you know a grown-ass woman doing amazing things, send us her story. We'd love to celebrate her right here on our podcast.
Yep, definitely. So moving on, we do have a great episode today. We will be talking about the mass exodus of Twitter, or now famously known as X. Women joining the 4B movement is very interesting. And the star-studded Governor's Ball, and of course, today's grown-ass topic with our friend, Dr. Jackie Walters, where we'll discuss all things OBGYN and how to find the best care for yourself. It's going to be a great episode. We'll get into all of that and more after the break. This is Grown-Ass Women Talking. We're back with more GAWT. Now it's time for Grown-Ass News. That's right. Each week, I'll get Erica's take on this week's entertainment news, current events, and news about grown-ass women. Well, you know, we had the election, and you know, there's a lot of upset women. Oof. And so some of these women are like, you know what? We got to do something. So some women are committing to the 4B movement. Now, the 4B movement originally was from South Korea, but it has started to gain traction in the United States. And basically, it's a movement that is centered around 4 key principles: no heterosexual marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, and no heterosexual relationships. The movement has started to resonate with women in the United States who are increasingly opting out of traditional relationships and societal expectations. What you think about this 4B movement?
I mean, this 4B not for me. I mean, what's the point? I mean, I get it. Men suck right now. We're in a toxic masculinity era, right? But I mean, come on, ladies. What are we doing? We're not gonna ever have sex anymore. We're not gonna have relationships. We gotta take a step back, like you and I did last week, to get away from our feelings and come back and regroup and figure out how do we use men to our advantage.
Well, on TikTok, they mad. There was a quote, the world said, "Girl, it's time to boycott all men. You lost your rights and they lost the right to hit raw."
Oh, Jesus. That's when you're doing too much. All legitimacy goes out the window when you're going to that extreme, right?
Well, some women are really, a couple weeks ago, the Google searches for 4B spiked by 450%, with the most interest coming from Washington, D.C., Colorado, Vermont, and Minnesota. You know, it's a form of a protest, and it's a lot of women that they feel upset. They feel like they're not being valued. They feel like they're only being valued for having babies and cooking and taking care of men. So they feel like this is a different type of movement where they can actually, make their own choices in their own lives. The only thing I would say when doing, especially when you're in your young years, you only have a certain amount of time for certain things. So if you want children, if you want to, get married, things like that, there are men out there that don't all think like what is currently happening. I will say that.
Can I just say one more thing? This is not new, right? I mean, this is, I'm going to get my my literature degree out, but this is like a Greek, it goes back to the Greeks. Like Lysistrata was a story about women who stopped having sex with men so they would stop having war. How did that work out? We still have men ain't checking for you. They'll find somebody else to have sex with. They'll move to the next person who was in the next town. You know what I'm saying? So we still have wars. That protest didn't work. You have to figure out a better way to manipulate men. Men are simple. And even though sex is a simple need, I don't think that I think there's too many choices for them. So it's not
a lot of choices.
Right.
Especially now with other men. Because one guy was on TikTok. He was like, you gone with the 4B movement. Because that'll open up my dating pool. I said, oh, here we go.
No.
It was hilarious. It's like it was really a great conversation. It's still going to be a great conversation. So, but it has been very effective in South Korea. There's a different culture over there in South Korea. I will say that. There's a different culture than over here. So over here, you got women that sleep with your man and tell you. That's like another woman.
Yeah, keep me posted on how that one works out. Let's keep the viewers posted on how that works out.
We will keep you posted. But moving on a little more with this new administration coming into play, Trump is picking his people for his cabinet, and he has this defense pick. His name is Peter, I think it's Hegseth, and he basically is posing the question of, should women be allowed to fight on the front lines? He made it clear in his own book and in interviews that he believes men and women should not serve together in combat units. If he is confirmed, he could try to end the Pentagon's nearly decade-old practice of making all combat jobs open to women. He says, I quote, "I am straight up about saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated," he said in a podcast. So what do you think about this? I mean, women have been fighting combats for over 10 years, and now he's thinking, no.
Again, I think this goes back to the propaganda of where we are right now. We're trying to put women back in the home, back in the kitchen, back in the office, back in, they don't want women to be seen outside of the home. They want them to just have babies and get married. But this is that cat's out of the bag. And I will tell you, I know so many women who are badass, who could be on the front line, who would run towards the fire while some pussy-ass man was running the other way. Believe me. So I don't agree with him at all. I think it's an agenda of the Trump, cabinet, and we're going to have to look out for that. That's going to be that's going to be what they're pushing this entire 4 years. Women back in the kitchen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for 10 years it's been going on, and like I said, we're just dealing with a bunch of this male energy that is like, really, y'all, seriously.
So what do we do, Loni Love? What do you think we should do?
That's why they doing the 4B movement.
Oh, I mean,
it all goes back to why they doing the 4B movement. Okay,
it's trying to eliminate. Do we have another idea in addition to the 4B movement? This shouldn't be our only tactic. There might be another tactic.
Okay, well, there's some people that still believe in the art of marriage. Our girl Megan Good and Jonathan Majors announced that they are actually taking their relationship to the next level on Sunday while attending the 2024 Ebony Power 100. The divorced and Black actress confirmed that she and former Marvel actor are engaged. She was showing off that ring on that carpet, girl. She was gushing and they didn't reveal any details about how he popped the question or anything like that. But she did announce that they are engaged. Congratulations to the happy couple. What you think?
Of course, congratulations. I wish them the best. I just think, listen, I think she has interesting choices in men. And I know that she raised a lot of eyebrows in her previous marriage because she was married to someone who was a pastor, I think, and he's a producer in Hollywood. And they were very vocal about not having sex before marriage. And they were together for quite a long time. So I wonder if she's going to, test drive this one first, just because I don't understand how you can marry someone without test driving. And maybe, I don't know if that led to the divorce, but, we're all, again, as a grown-ass woman, and she was a grown-ass woman in both of these marriages, so I don't know how you take a step back and decide not to, explore the relationship.
Well, that was for fully. That man. That's Devon Franklin is her ex-husband.
I wasn't going to say a name, but yeah. But yes,
everybody knows they were married.
I know. I'm trying to be discreet.
He even brought his boo. He got a boo now. He put her on the red carpet. So I guess that was like, yeah, it's like everybody, I think she handles different men. Yeah, except for you. We got to get you somebody. So
how dare you? God, shots fired, Loni Love.
I will say this, on Twitter, they were having a field day. They basically said, we lost with Kamala, we lost with Mike Tyson, now this. People are over it.
People are so funny.
They're so funny.
You got to admit.
Somebody that's got a new job is Craig Melvin from the Today Show. He will be replacing Hoda Kotb as the co-host for the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. hour of Today. He's a familiar face with Today Show viewers. He hosts the show's third hour and is the news anchor during the first 2 hours. So he went and got him a job.
I know. Listen, first of all, I love Hoda, but I do love Craig, and I think this is my thing about Craig, and I love him. I think it's great, but he is the heir to Bryant Gumbel, right? He's like the perfect morning show black guy. He doesn't have any facial hair. He's very
he got pretty green eyes. You like the green eyes, don't you?
He's very handsome. But he's very non-threatening, and I think it's interesting that that's always the go-to for morning television. Now, I personally will miss a third hour Hoda with her box of wine. That's my favorite Hoda. But maybe Craig will slide into third hour and have a box of wine. Then he might let it loose and grow a little shadow.
You don't want Craig to.
I would love to see. I would love to drink brown. I would love to drink brown liquor with Craig and see what happens. See if he turns into Hoda.
He ain't gonna do that. I don't see that happening at all, because he want to keep his job.
That's true.
And it's funny because I don't know if we discussed this, but basically when they kept prying with Hoda of why she's leaving or whatever. Basically, from what the streets are saying is that she, was negotiating her contract, and I believe they were not going to give her. Either they probably want her to take a cut in pay or something. Mm-hmm. And so, know your worth, girl.
100%. Good for you. You never go backwards. Come on now.
Definitely. So moving on, a lot of people are doing a mass exodus from X, formerly known as Twitter. It began shortly after Donald Trump's election victory last week, and explaining their decision, many in the exodus cited the same thing: the huge support Elon Musk and the social media center's owner gave the Republican candidate during the campaign, and increasing nastiness on his site. So now everybody, they're making announcements too. They're making full on flyers, I am leaving.
Oh God.
I will no longer be on Twitter.
It's a political statement.
It's just leave, okay?
Listen, you know me. I have not been on social media. I am the worst. I mean, I literally.
You are the worst.
I'm the worst. I don't follow anyway. I barely follow you, Loni Love. I follow you and one other person, and I barely follow myself. Unless I need.
I know.
Unless I need to put up. I look cute one day, so I put up a thirst trap. That's when I follow myself. Otherwise, I'm not checking for any of it. So I'm not the demographic for this conversation.
Well, I mean, a lot of our listeners are on social media, and Blue Sky is it's trying to be a version of X right now, or the old Twitter, I would say, because, instead of a bird, they have a butterfly, and it's that blue pale logo with a white butterfly. I think that, it's like a butterfly, or sometimes it's a blue butterfly with a white background. So
it's like the happy version of Twitter, or the positive version.
Yeah, it tried, but I mean, so far they got 20 million people to join Blue Sky, and the thing is that a lot of people, they don't want to leave Twitter because they work so hard in getting followers, and they're it's hard to say goodbye when I have 400,000 followers on
excuse
X.
me, humble brag.
And then I have, like 1.9 million on IG. I have 1.5 million on Facebook.
We get it. You're popular.
So when people say they're leaving, I mean, if I was you and you got what?
I got 5 followers.
You got, it's easy to leave, but
no one's checking for me. They'll be like, who? Was she even here? I don't know her.
This would be a good time for you to join Blue Sky. Erica, join
I just found out about TikTok. I don't know where all these things are coming from. There was just TikTok, and then there's another one with Threads. I mean, there's too many things coming up. I can't keep up. Remember I told you I do one thing a day? That's it. I can't do 3 different social media things. I do 1 a day.
Well, another thing is that a lot of people seriously are leaving because Twitter or X is changing its terms of service. So reportedly, they're doing things like they're going to use AI to study your tweets, to replicate them. And there'll be all kinds of ways that he could sue you if you did something. So people just don't want to be bothered with it anymore. They don't want to be used. They don't want to be bothered. And that's why they're leaving in mass exodus. So
listen, I mean, I can say a lot of things about Elon Musk, but I won't, because I don't want to be retaliated against. So I'm gonna be.
You don't even have an account, so it doesn't.
He's listening to us right now, Loni.
Somebody else has been listening. Tina Knowles, she has slammed reports that Beyonce was paid millions to speak at Vice President Harris's Houston rally last month. Beyonce made that wonderful appearance, her and Kelly Rowland, and it was an endorsement, and it was a very emotional speech. Now, rumors were spread online that the record-breaking Grammy winner was paid $10 million for her appearance. And Candace Owens, who is the right-wing political woman, she was putting out tweets bait because she's baiting. And, Mama Tina stepped up in and said, okay, this has been flagged on Instagram as fake news and taken down. It's called false information. Beyonce's mother wrote on Instagram alongside a screenshot of the blurred post. Sadly, other platforms with a lack of integrity still have it up. The lie is that Beyonce was paid $10 million to speak at a rally, when in fact Beyonce did not receive a penny for speaking at presidential Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Houston. So she was, she let it.
Yeah, Mama Tina will come for you. Do not. You think the Beehive is scary? Don't come for her baby. That Mama Tina is a tiger mom. Do not come for her.
And then Candace kind of was like, well, why is it that Beyonce never answers, or why is she answering from a burner account? And it's like, all that, I'm reading this stuff, and it's like, all of that is just Candace trying to bait to get Beyonce to say something to her. And one thing I know about, social media, sometimes you just gotta let stuff you handle it a different way, but don't give the satisfaction of letting this person think that you're gonna, because then they're gonna always do it. They're going to always try to bait you into, answering. And, typically Beyonce has always been attacked for her political views. If she does a certain type of performance, they have always been attacking her. And first of all, she got those 3 kids to take care of. She ain't got time to be on social media. It's just me and Miss Tina. You and Beyonce are too busy working, making money.
Me and my cousin Beyonce have things to do. My cousin Bay and I are too busy for this trolling BS.
Something that Beyonce probably isn't getting paid for either is that she's going to be performing a halftime show during one of the NFL's Christmas Day matchups on Netflix. Now, Netflix is starting to get into the live sporting arena. They just did it with Tyson and Jake Paul. Was it Jake Paul? Mm-hmm. And so now they're starting to do football, and this is a way to draw people because she's going to do a halftime performance. She's probably going to, since the game is between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens, she's going to perform songs from her latest album, Cowboy Carter. And the project was recently nominated for 11 Grammys. So she's also the most nominated artist now because she's been nominated like 99 times. So she's the most nominated. So are you excited to see Beyonce's Christmas Day performance?
Listen, you know I'm always here for my cousin Bay, but I will say that Netflix better get this right, because if they start buffering like they did on the Tyson fight, the Beehive is coming for them, right?
They better get it together. So,
meanwhile, can we go back to the Tyson thing though before we move on? I was treated to, because I did watch the fight, and I was treated to the pre-interview where Mike Tyson turned around and showed a little assy cheeks. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
A little booty, which, listen, 58-year booty, it was not bad. I was impressed.
He's been training really, really hard. So.
Clearly, he's been doing some squats.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, did you even look at the fight?
I did watch the fight. Yes. I mean, I have my own theories about that, but, everybody got paid. That's all that matters, I guess.
It was a lot of hype. And here, I do have to say that Jake Paul has pulled himself up from the bootstraps, and he's become this great influencer, and he's able to, get people to spend their money, and he's able to get tracks, and, so it's great.
And 60 million people watched the fight, right? So I think they're hoping that 60 million people or more will watch the Beyonce halftime thing. I mean, that's a lot of people.
And one thing I will say is that it is worldwide, but it's also something for broadcast networks to they need to be on the lookout, because 100%. Once the streaming service gets this stuff, it's done. It's a done data.
Kicking it live is a whole different ballgame now. You're absolutely right.
So moving on, we had a great A-list event that happened, the Governor's Ball, which is the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Governor's Award Ball, where they usually, this is the time when they give Oscars out to people that maybe wouldn't get one, or they get an honorary Oscar. And honey, because ain't nobody working, that red carpet was flooded with stars. Everybody dusted off that stuff. I mean, it was considered the first major campaign stop for the year's Oscar contenders. And it also included a presentation of an honorary Oscar to the late Quincy Jones, the first Black producer to be nominated for Best Picture. And legendary casting director Juliet Taylor, screenwriter Richard Curtis, and you had Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson. J-Lo was on there.
Of course.
Looking fierce.
He looks amazing.
Coleman Domingo.
That's your guy. You love him.
Oh, I love Coleman. He opened up the ceremony. And also Angelina Jolie brought her son, Knox.
I saw Knox. He looks just like her. A little bit of Brad, but just like her.
A little bit, but yeah. And he was you could just tell a good kid when you see it. He was standing there with his mother. He was just in awe of his mother. You had Demi Moore and Nicole Kidman. Demi looking great.
I mean, amazing. Again, all these women are aging like fine wine, like we said before, like just crazy good.
Jennifer Lawrence and her baby bump was there, and Kevin Costner, and I mean, everybody was. I told you, I said, ain't nobody working, so everybody
everyone wants a party and free food.
Everybody's like, okay, let's go, let's try to do something so people can remember.
Was this the one that Halle was at in her old dress, the same dress from the Oscars? That's at a different thing.
No, that was Halle Berry wore her Oscar-winning gown. It was. They said they made it seem like it was the same gown, but I think because the way I looked at certain details, it looked like it was a remade version of it, but it was for a fashion show.
Oh, I see.
That she did that. That wasn't for that, but
she's another one. Anyway. She's another one who looks amazing. Who are their doctors? I need to get him on the phone right now.
Sometimes it's just good old water and exercise and sleep.
Please, come on now. This is Hollywood. Smoke and mirrors, baby.
I'm just saying, And this weekend, there's going to be this box office matchup of Gladiator 2 versus Wicked. They're calling it Glicket. Glicket. God. That's what they're calling it. Similar to Barbenheimer. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it right. So, but Gladiator 2, of course, stars Denzel Washington and was it Pedro and some other people. That the only person I've been seeing that's making news is Denzel, because Pedro Pascal, because Denzel been telling it all. He been giving all kind of. First, he said, they said they was on the red carpet the other night, and Denzel, he said, I had a gay kiss, but I guess they chickened out and took it out the movie. And so he was asked again, the director was asked about the gay kiss taken out, and he said, I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, God, Denzel. How old is Denzel?
69.
There you go.
And then they turned and they come back and they asked Denzel. They said, well, the director said he don't remember even having a kiss. He said, wait, no, it was like a kiss on the hand. It was a kiss.
Oh,
it was some type of kiss. It was like Denzel.
He's like, who are you going to believe, some director or Denzel Washington? We believe you, Denzel. I'm on Team Denzel.
Denzel was like, I kissed somebody and then I killed him. That's what he said. I was like, okay, Denzel. I was like, we just need to take a microphone from Denzel. Denzel has been having a ball. Then another time, Denzel, he was talking to reporters. See, this is what happens when you do these junkets and you just start running. You know how, old people, that's one thing about us grown people. We just start saying whatever the hell we want to say. And so Denzel said, okay, I'm going to do Othello, and then I'm going to do a couple other movies, and then I'm going to be in Black Panther 3, and then I'm going to retire. And so that caused a whole big thing, So then Denzel came back this week. I didn't say I was going to retire. It was like, Denzel.
Does somebody need to take Denzel's keys? It's time to take Grandpa's keys, guys.
Denzel don't care. Denzel was like, no, I didn't say, but we heard you say after that you're gonna retire. No, I said I want to just work with people.
Okay, Denzel.
Denzel, what you talking? Denzel, come on. Now you can tell the difference when he with Pauletta, his wife, and when he not. Because when he not with her, he don't even wear no sports coat. He wear them Skechers, blue jeans, and a matching blue T-shirt. Take his picture. But Pauletta make him put on a sports coat.
Pauletta does not play. Even his son was talking about how he was on Broadway, and his mom came to see the show like every night. And every night she had notes for him. She'd be like,
every night. She's not
David?
Playing.
No, even Pauletta did not play. She runs that family for sure.
I love it. And we love Denzel. We love, go see all the movies.
Give us your keys, Granddaddy. We love you, but we need to take your keys. You can't drive anymore. We're sorry.
My goodness. Well, with that said, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to jump into today's topic with Dr. Jackie Walters. This is Grown Ass Women Talking.
I'm Dr. Jackie, and this is Grown Ass Women Talking.
Today's guest is one of Bravo's most beloved stars and a renowned OBGYN known for her empathy and dedication to women's health. A 2-time breast cancer survivor, she brings a unique blend of expertise and personal resilience to her practice, empowering women to prioritize their well-being. She co-owns Comprehensive Women's OBGYN in Atlanta and co-founded Wow MediSpa to help women look and feel their best. In 2020, she published the best-selling book, The Queen V. Oh, I love that book. A Guide to Feminine Health, and recently launched the Volition Skin Rhythm line for hormonal skin. And don't we all need that? Dr. Jackie's career and personal journey continues to inspire women worldwide. And you know what? You can catch her on the 11th season of Married to Medicine.
11?
the 11th season, and it's premiering Sunday, November 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Bravo. Please welcome our girl, Dr. Jackie Walters. Dr. Jackie!
Dr. Jackie! Welcome.
How have you been, sis?
I'm wonderful, staying busy. How have you been?
I've been good, and Erica, we started this podcast, Grown Ass Women, because we wanted to highlight wonderful grown ass women like yourself. And I mean, you have just been doing it. How does it feel to be back for the 11th season with all the ladies?
Loni, I am so excited. I mean, in this season, I say it every year, but this is the best season ever, Loni. So, oh, girl,
give me a little bit.
Yeah,
give me a little tantalizing taste.
So let me tell you. If you saw how the explosive reunion ended last year, it picked up right there, honey. The drama didn't cool down at all. We just picked up where we left off. We act like a little soap opera. You don't have to see all the seasons to just pick up.
Well, can I ask you a question? To that point, listen, I'm a huge Bravo fan, and I watch all the shows. I watch all the Housewives. We have friends who are housewives. But how did you decide to put yourself on blast, right? I mean, as a doctor, a prominent doctor in Atlanta, were you afraid of putting all your stuff out there?
See, now, Erica, when we came along, the story I got was, you're going to be a mentor.
Oh.
You're going to help the ladies navigate through life. It's going to be easy.
Oh, please.
Okay, so
they roped you in with that.
Yes. I thought I was coming out just to help and give back and save lives. Honey, girl.
No, it's the drama. We love the drama. I mean, come on.
But I also like it that it's different from the Housewives, Married to Medicine. And do you think that's why it's had this longevity? Because it is a difference. I mean, you're very professional, you're doctors or you're married to doctors, and it's something that's different. Or what, in your opinion, gives it the longevity?
Loni, to be totally honest, I think the longevity comes from the fact that we are really friends. We don't have to create a storyline. We just keep going. We're friends. We travel when we're not filming. We're hanging out at each other's houses. We've seen each other's kids grow up. I've delivered babies for people who are on the show. It's just friendship. It's friendship. It's good old frenemies. We're friends and we're enemies. So I think that gives us our longevity. You are exactly right. It is different because we use our lives as a teaching tool as well. So you get to see on the show things that you may have experienced or may experience one day to say, oh, I saw that on Married to Medicine. This is what you need to do. So that is giving us the longevity, I do believe.
Well, which came first, Dr. Jackie? Did the friendships come first or did the show come first?
The friendships came first for a lot of us. I've known Dr. Simone now for 28 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Toya was a patient of mine and we fired each other. And, that was before there was ever a show.
Loni fires me every day.
Exactly.
Every week.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah. And crazy enough, I did not like Dr. Heavenly.
Well,
but
I'm not mad at that.
Every day. So a lot of us were friends before the show.
I love that. Well, I love all of you, but there was one comment made by one of my favorites, Phaedra Park, saying that, when she came on the show, she helped boost the ratings. I don't want to misquote her, but basically we all heard what she said. How did you feel when she made that comment?
Thank you, Phaedra. Thank you.
Bless her heart.
We see the world as we are. And if Phaedra feels that, and if, I bet there are people watching Married to Medicine that may not have watched it.
Right.
Now, I can't say we boosted the ratings because the ratings are off the chart anyway. Because every year we get a great season. But we say thank you.
And bless your heart, Phaedra.
Yes.
Listen, again, going to what Loni said, I I'm a Bravo fan, but I also think this show is so special because it is professional women like you guys, and like you are inspirational, and it's not so ratchet in a way of like you're not flipping tables. I mean, you might have a couple words to say,
Well,
but
Erica, don't say that.
Are some tables flipping this season? Oh, we got an exclusive. What? What's going on?
Let's just say we are very, very professional.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you being a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and you started a foundation, 50 Shades of Pink. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So in 2004, I was actually pregnant, had a pregnancy loss, and decided, let me do all my preventive health before we go back and get pregnant. Got the phone call, you need to come back in. And so many women get that phone call and they're terrified. But I was like, oh, they do that to everybody. Went back, long story short, I had breast cancer the first time, chemo, radiation, lumpectomy once, lumpectomy twice. I'm good, right? Well, no. 4 years later, I'm diagnosed again with breast cancer in the other breast and had a double mastectomy. In all of that, though, I decided what is it that helped me to get through that journey was I dressed up for every chemo treatment. I went to the doctor and I was looking breast cancer in the face saying, you will never see me look bad. I started giving to other women, patients, friends that had been diagnosed with breast cancer, everything that I thought was a look good, feel good for me. Hence, I started a foundation. And we started giving out lipstick, makeup, hair, whatever it was a woman needed to get through that journey looking good. Because you know when you look good on Sunday, Loni, you're feeling good. And we all know when you look good, you feel good, your immune system knows it, and they do better.
Well, do you think as a doctor, did that inform your journey? I mean, I think I can't imagine being a doctor and knowing what all of the having breast cancer, all the ramifications of that mean. As a layperson, I'm like, okay, I'm counting on my doctor to tell me what's going on. You already know. So how did that inform your experience and how you healed yourself?
I think knowing was actually a little more detrimental to me because I knew things to ask about, like what were my lymphovascular spaces?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't know to ask about. I was asking those questions and hoping that I knew what the right answer should be. And so, but I was like, I refused to give in and cave in and quit because I had talked to patients about, oh, you can get through this. I'd gone through a miscarriage and I talked to women about it. Like, oh, I refused to do it, but I wanted everybody to come out feeling as good as I did about the journey, in that I didn't want anybody to have sad moments. I wanted to be everybody's savior. I know I'm not, but I tried to do that by giving women warming blankets to help because your chest is tightened after a double mastectomy. The drains. I went to church. I just had to go back to church and my drains fell out in the middle of the floor. So I wanted to help women so they could go out after a double mastectomy. I just wanted to make sure that women looked good because we all know when we look good, whatever your definition of looking good is, you feel good, and your feel good controls your immune response.
Wow, that's really giving back. And I think that's why you've always been blessed, Dr. Jackie. And you've also been blessing us because you started doing the Met Gala. And what can we see? Will you do the Med Gala this season?
Well, for a couple of years, Married to Medicine couldn't travel and do missions. And so season 10, we said, let's do a Med Gala, a take off the Met Gala, and bring the Black medical community together. And because we hadn't been together. That was such a success the first year. The second year, we're like, oh, we'll take it to the next level. So this year's Med Gala, I was appointed the chairman, and I picked a co-chair. And then we needed a co-chair. That's where the mess is coming in. When you got.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
But it is one of the most spectacular moments on the show because we actually give back. We give back in a big way. And we give back in ways that mean a lot to me, and that we give back to Black maternity mortality. But trying to pull together an event with a bunch of type A bossy, professional Black women who thinks that it should look like that. Oh, honey. And I decided to auction them all off. Cooking with Quad. How much? How much? A night with Faith. How much can I get for that? Because we needed to raise money, honey. We were at the... but it is so
a night with Phaedra might be. I love Phaedra, but I don't know if I could do a night with her.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Lonnie's bidding.
The Med Gala this year is going to just start something that I don't know if we can keep topping, but it is a take off the Met Gala in the Med Gala, put a theme to it. We raised money, we gave back.
So what we're saying is the outfits are amazing, right? I mean, like you guys are suited and booted.
I'm probably going to get beat up, but this year's theme is the Enchanted Garden.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. Oh, that's going to be really nice.
And you know, when you get a bunch of Black women in ball gowns.
Yes.
And you throw in some flowers and trees. Ooh, okay.
Well, as long as you've been doing, this is the 11th season, has there ever been something that you've regretted saying or doing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I don't ever want to say it again, so don't ask.
I was trying to get you to say it.
You know what? I think we all learn from our mistakes. And if you don't learn from it, you gotta be crazy. So definitely I've said things, even with family, friends, and marriage, you say things, and you actually, when you hear it, you go, I wish I could take that back. I think I have this one thing that if you're going to grow and learn, you have to stop and listen. And so every mistake I've ever made, I hope I can take my pain and turn it into a purpose, and my misery into a ministry, and my struggles make me strong. So for all my mistakes, I've learned from them.
What do you want women to get from this season of Married to Medicine?
Oh, girl, let's see. Don't take your ex on a trip with you. Okay? Honey, yes. And if you go to a dude ranch with a bunch of women, expect drama. Just expect the drama.
Playing out a relationship in public seems so scary to me. I mean, I've been divorced twice. Loni knows. So like, and that's in private. That's in private. 2 divorces. So like, how do you guys navigate these relationships in public? I mean, it's hard enough to have a relationship in private.
Yes.
To have it blasted all over, the world. Like, how do you navigate that?
So in total transparency, we hope you don't find out about it, okay? Mm-hmm. But because we're in Atlanta, it's small, we're on TV, and we out each other, you got to go with it. But again, for everything that happened in my marriage that played on TV that I wish it had not played on TV, but it did, I wanted somebody to learn from it. And I think that I chose the path that a lot of women don't take, and that I wanted to forgive. And I thought that, and I know that my husband's a good person who did a big dumb something. Good people make bad decisions. And because he was remorseful, we said all the right things, and I saw the work. I was able to get past that. And so again, I tell everybody, I take my life, I make my life a teaching tool. Sometimes it's what not to do. But I just said, we're in here now, and let's show people the real truth. Show me how you feel. And we unfortunately found out this drama 2 weeks before we started airing. So you really got a chance to see us go through all the moments of counseling and crying and close to killing. I mean, I know that.
He almost got killed. Yeah.
This is going to be juicy. But Dr. Jackie, we can't wait for this new season. But since we have you here, and you are our doctor, and you have been, we have this wonderful grown-ass topic. We're tackling an essential need for grown women everywhere. Okay, for today's grown-ass topic, we're tackling an essential need for grown-ass women everywhere, finding the right OBGYN. With women's health in the spotlight, even more than ever, we know our listeners have important questions. Along with advocating for yourself, having a trusted medical professional by your side is key. Someone who listens, supports, and genuinely has your best interests at heart. So today, we are joined by the fabulous Dr. Jackie, who is going to walk us through what to look for in a provider, the crucial questions to ask, and how to partner effectively to champion your health. So let's dive in right now. Okay.
First and foremost, you need to find a doctor that you align with. And what do I mean? You're not going to align with everybody. I've had patients that we didn't connect and we understood it and we both mutually agreed, Toya, i.e. Toya, that you can connect with. But you want, like, let me take you through a visit with Dr. Jackie. Hi, I'm Dr. Jackie. Pleasure to meet you. I noticed that you're here today for your annual exam. Well, let's start. Tell me about your medical health. So you want them to ask you questions. Tell me about your surgeries, what medicines you're taking. Are you allergic to medicine? Then I go into social history. You smoking, drinking, doing drugs, girl. Marijuana is drug.
Everybody says no. Everybody says no.
Right. Right. But I want patients comfortable enough that if they told me the truth, Erica, Lonnie, that I'm not going to judge you because I don't want to make the patients be me. If I don't have 3 boyfriends at one time, I don't want to make you feel bad if you have 3 boyfriends at one time. So find somebody you can be honest with that you don't feel is judging you based on my own personal choices and that cares about you. Like, I don't have to stay in the room with you all day to connect. We can, and then always know if your doctor leaves the room and does not say, do you have any further questions? So I speak, I allow the patients to speak, and I let them set me straight. Like, what's wrong with you today? You don't look like you're smiling. Or Dr. Waters, you didn't call me back. Your nurse called me back. But baby, it's one of me and 10,000 of you. But you really want to find a doctor who is meeting your needs and can be honest, can be transparent. And being honest sometimes is to say, okay, girl, you gained 15 pounds.
No.
Right. And I'm not judging your weight gain based on the fact that you don't look good. It's about health. You know,
absolutely.
I tell people, look at what the risks are of obesity and the risk of medicines now. So you got to decide what's right for you. So you got to have somebody you can connect with, that you can call and you get a proper answer. I'm not going to be able to pick up the phone, but my staff should be calling you back. And I can culturally relate to you. You know, I know what mom and them mean. I know what Pookie means to you. I know how you eat and what we eat for Thanksgiving and how to tell you have 1 plate and not 3. So you need to find somebody you can align with that you trust. And I'll even say, if they take your insurance or not, is it an investment for you to go to somebody and pay for a visit that you love?
Can I ask you a question though? Because we had a really great conversation with Mo Collins about menopause, right? And out of that conversation became us kind of going down memory lane of all of our reproductive. Same thing. I've had miscarriages, but even going back to being, in puberty, like I had dysmenorrhea, which was like I had the worst menstrual cramps. Yeah, so like my whole reproductive history as a girl and my lady parts has been horrible. And so my question to you is, had I found the right OBGYN as a teenager, say, for example, and I had fibroids and all the things that you go through, especially as a woman of color, to have to navigate your reproductive, life, would have been helpful to have someone who I could have, like you said, come to and talk to about what I was going through, who understood and could have navigated all of the issues that I had up until now. And do you suggest that like young women start having a really good relationship with their OBGYNs that will help them navigate this world? Because now we know so much more than we did before.
Right. Thank you to the internet.
Yes.
And that's a great point. I actually see girls around 16 and 18 to establish a relationship. They're terrified. And I do what I call with my girls the tricycle. You're the front tire. Mom and I are the back tires. And you get to tell us what is going on. And I try to help moms not to be so reactive and not to tell the girl what she has to do and not going to do. Because if girls are going to do things now, we say, let me see how we can keep you safe. So if you establish a relationship with an OBGYN between 16 and 18, especially if you're having severe cramps like that, because we try not to do surgery on girls who are that young, but you want them to establish a level of comfort. When my girls leave for college, I say, here's the SOS number, the red phone. If you call and say to my nurse, I'm Dr. Jackie's patient, I went off to college, and it's a SOS, they know that I need to talk to that young lady. And so establishing a relationship early on is important throughout their puberty. And we don't see them too much when they start puberty, but around 16, 18, go off to college, come back, have a baby with me. I actually now am seeing patients that I delivered and they're having babies.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
You want to find somebody you can stick with throughout your entire reproductive, postmenopausal. Always have a doctor though that will give you options. You know, like a woman with fibroids. I never say, well, you need your fibroids out. We got treatment options. Concern means I'm giving you medicines or birth control pills or something to help with your bleeding. I can send you for a uterine fibroid embolization. I can remove your fibroids, or if you're done with it, we can take your uterus out, maybe leave your ovaries behind so you're not in menopause. Always have options. In medicine, there are very few things we have to do one thing for. Now, if it's cancer, that's a different thing. But make sure you're talking to a doctor who will give you treatment options.
Well, I want to know because, this is for grown ass women, 40 and up. When we start to hit our 40s and up, what are the things that we should be, are there some specific screenings or things that we should be looking out for?
Absolutely. At 40, you should be getting your mammogram. Now, I still do a 35 to 40-year-old baseline mammogram on Black women because we die 41% more than anybody else if diagnosed with breast cancer. So the baseline saved my life, so I still offer a baseline. But at 40, you should be doing your first, if not your second mammogram, and doing them annually. You should be doing self-breast exams. And crazy enough, Loni, some women at 40 are starting to enter into that perimenopausal phase. If you have not had babies and you think you still want babies, please run, don't walk, and freeze some eggs. Okay? If you've not met Mr. Right and you still think you want babies and you are now 40, go freeze eggs. Do multiple cycles if you need to. And folks have said, oh, well, you don't need a pap smear, but every 3 to 5 years. Well, that's true. But now we say Black women die from cervical cancer twice more. If we are dying more, we should be doing more. So you still need to come in because I got to get in there and feel your ovaries and feel for fibroids. So you still need an annual GYN exam.
Okay. But Dr. Jackie, I mean, like, again, for women, I mean, luckily have eggs of mine that I could use if I need to at this point, if I find a third husband. But my point being, like, it's expensive. So not every woman can have access to that, right?
But expensive is relative. And we are weight makers. And average is about $9,000 to $10,000. But when I say we're weight makers, there are some fertility clinics that will freeze your eggs for free if you will donate some eggs for other reasons, for studies. They're not going to take them and, turn them into babies. But if you'll donate eggs for studies, that's one way of getting them
like stem cell research or things like that.
If they have all kinds of care credit, honey, that if you get a credit card for a purse, you can get a credit card and freeze some eggs.
Right.
Okay.
So and I'll tell that kid I'm still paying you off.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You and better be good.
And we know so much more about menopause now because nobody talked about it. It was embarrassing to talk about menopause because women felt like that was the end of life. Well, my life is just getting started, y'all. And I'm telling you now, hot flashes, can't sleep at night, gotta pee, little cranky, can't remember where I put the keys at, vagina dry, sex hurt, on a half sex, all that stuff. We have medicine for that stuff now, okay? You become insulin resistant, so you're getting belly fat, so the estrogen can be made in the belly fat. Girl, we got treatment for that stuff now, though.
I need to make an appointment with you for next week, Dr. Jackie. I'll be in Atlanta.
But I also want to know, because there are a lot of women, surprisingly, even as they get older, that don't know the procedure, the correct procedure with an OBGYN, especially with a male. What is some ways for a person? What should they look out for when it's like, especially if they meet a new person? What are some ways that they can tell them? Because I like to have somebody else in the room with me, along with my doctor. But, everybody's not the same. But is that a standard practice or what?
We certainly allow you to bring a guest in. Don't bring the whole family. But, it's okay if you bring your male or your female counterpart. It's accepted. We don't have a problem with. Now, if you're going to be embarrassed to have your exam in front of that person, then I'm like, you bring them in the room.
But I mean, can you have another, does a doctor usually bring a nurse?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I have seen these women for so many years now, Loni.
Yeah.
They want to talk about the grandbaby, the baby. So we have a whole tea time. Okay. Spill the tea. We have tea time, and they don't really want a nurse now because I've been doing it for so long. But proper protocol is always to have a chaperone in the room.
And then they're supposed to look at your hoo-ha, right? And then they go and check, and then they feel all up in. I'm like, what is? I just want to. I'm just because there's a lot of women that don't know.
Let me go, Lonnie. So this is what we're doing. We're basically, the only way you can see the cervix or the back of the vagina is to put that dreaded speculum in there, because you got to open it up. So I can see the cervix. And of course, you're squeezing, I'm squeezing, we're all squeezing for ice cream, trying to get back there to see your cervix. Again, it's all about relaxing. The vagina everybody's vagina is different, honey. You listen, you got to navigate to the right, to the left, down, up to find that cervix. And just
a winding road.
Yes, just talk patients through it. And they have to know, when you're aroused, the vagina lengthens just like a penis. But when you're getting your pap smear, yeah, girl, it's like an accordion. Yeah. And so you got to have the patient comfortable enough to have it. But if you want a guest, bring a guest. If you want a chaperone, we have a chaperone. And then when we put these two fingers in their line, we got to hold that cervix to hold the uterus in place so we can feel your uterus for fibroids.
Oh, okay.
So it's
not a date. Okay.
Oh, not a date, girl. Not a date.
not a first date. It might be a second date.
No.
But that's why I'm saying, Dr. Jackie, I feel like, again, having had this crazy road of my lady parts being a pain in the ass, I wish I had a doctor who I could have had a relationship with early on, that I would, at this point in my life, have trusted to do all the things you're talking about. Don't you think that relationship is so intimate that, why wouldn't you at 16 want to kind of lock in on someone that you feel very comfortable with, who could usher you through childbirth and puberty and all the things, menopause?
Well, some people don't have health insurance.
Well, but that's what
we take cash, Lonnie. We take.
Dr. Jackie takes cash.
Dr. Jackie, some people don't have cash. That's what I mean. Which is the last question I wanted to ask about.
Okay, but let me answer Erica's question.
Okay.
2024, life has changed. Back in the day, mamas didn't talk about it. Girls were embarrassed to talk about it. So the visit was a little hard because women didn't want to talk about it. Now, with the internet, TikTok and Instagram and all those things, people are open to talk about it. And so it makes we're free and they're free and we're all talking about it. And, women used to be shamed, and you put the drape up, they push the drape down, you put the drape up. But now, girl, they throw the drape to the side and put the leg up, look right here. Look right here. I think it's changed because we've changed.
Yes, that's a great thing.
And what's the range for, if you could do cash? What's the range?
Don't make me now. I don't. Well, now, I'm honest. Routine visits, you come in, and I'm guessing, and my staff will kill me. I don't really know. I would say $85 to $100 is a preventive visit. Now, if you come in, you need an ultrasound, you need biometrics, do labs. That's going to change. It's a la carte. So it can change. It depends.
So women can save, because I'm just saying, especially with what's happening with reproductive rights right now, and this, a lot of people, women need to make sure they prioritize checking. And if you got to save up, put a little bit away. And then that way you have the money to get your checkups.
Yeah. So, and it's not, I don't want to get anybody's purse. It's not unaffordable though. And I would say it's less than having 2 out for a healthy meal. So you can definitely save up. And I tell women all the time, I say, honey, make it your Christmas fund. I got to go see Dr. Jackie every December. I don't have health insurance right now. So, hey, donate to my healthy parts.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, we're big and rooted to the tootie. Mental health. Make sure you know everybody needs a therapist. Let me tell you, everybody needs a therapist. Okay? The therapist needs a therapist. And so definitely heart smart. We're talking about exercising, gut health. All diseases start in the gut. So we're definitely telling women to do that. And then the queen bee. The queen is royalty, honey.
Everybody I love the queen bee.
To take care of the queen bee. Okay?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Dr. Jackie, before we let you go, can you tell us are you working on anything else you want to plug?
Ooh, Loni, I'm always working on something. Listen, 50 Shades of Pink is expanding to all health disparities in Black women. I've started a scrub line so that when you leave the office and you look cute, you might want to just throw a coat on this and keep going. Volition Skin Beauty. I love my own products. And, as we mature, I don't say age because you can manage age and you can't anti-age. But as we mature, the skin is changing. So I'm trying to make sure that we're changing with that. I have a surrogacy agency. So if you need us to help you get a baby, we can help you get a baby. If you need a uterus, let me put it that way. If you need to find a uterus, we can help you find a uterus and do it safe. Loni, I'm busy.
I love it.
First of all, can I just say, I'm not going to say your age, but I have Googled you, and
that's not right on Google. They're lying.
Okay, I'm not even saying, but you look.
I'm gonna tell you,
you're so gorgeous. You look, and so I want all of your skin line. Like I need every product right now.
If you leave your information, we're gonna make sure you get it.
I mean,
you know what?
Amazing.
I got you.
We could talk to you all day, but we have to let you go because you're so busy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is such an honor. You've given such great information. And to all of our listeners, be sure to check out the Married to Medicine season premiere Sunday, November 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern.
It's
on Bravo.
On Bravo. Don't forget, and oh my God. If you start watching it, you can't stop.
Each episode will stream the next day on Peacock. When we come back, we're going to get into the takeaway with me. This is Grown Ass Women Talking.
Welcome back. Now is one of my favorite times in the show where we get to get Loni's takeaway. Loni, my love, what did we learn today?
We need to have more doctors on the show. She was so informative. She was so good. We could have talked to her for another 2-3 hours. And Dr. Jackie is just, she shows that you can be this great reality show personality, but also be a professional. And I think that for me, that's why I always love to look at Married to Medicine, because, it's not just some arbitrary, not dissing anybody else, but I've always loved, seeing us, especially as professional women. And, she gave us some good points. I know that times are going to start getting tough. A lot of women are going to start losing their health care. That doesn't mean that your personal, health care should suffer. That's what I got from it. So save your money. Make sure you still get yourself checked, because if you get sick during this time, it's even worse. So if you can catch it early, be it whatever. So maybe make sure you check down there, get the mammograms. You can work on stuff
down there.
That's
and
what
up
I got
here.
from it. All up there, anywhere. Okay. Any final words, Erica?
Well, I was very happy to get some free healthcare today. So I'm good. I'm about to call Miss Dr. Jackie about my uterus and about the B spots. I'm all good.
She's really cool. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Grown Ass Women Talking. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram or YouTube at GAWT Pod. Come see me perform. Just go to LoniLove.com. I got a bunch of dates. You know, I'm going to be with Martin Lawrence at the beginning of the year. You don't want to miss it, okay?
Loni Love is in these streets, y'all. She's in the streets.
Thanks again to Dr. Jackie for joining us. Check out Married to Medicine Season 11 starting Sunday, November 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Bravo. Each episode will stream the next day on Peacock.
Bye. Love to everyone.